Jin was getting beaten up by his friends and he fell, and then he stood up and started beating them. All suddenly his mother came and stopped him and took him with her. As they reached home, her mother told her to control his anger, and then they started to train. His mother was a great fighter and was strong. She had taught Jin a lot about fighting, but still he was not the best at the time and she was worried. Later that night they both were chilling in the house and suddenly someone came outside screaming. It was the father of the boy he had beaten in the morning. He wanted to teach Jin some lesson, but his mother came in between and threw that man away and sent him away from there. Later that night something bad happened. A mysterious green-colored monster came in and Jin's mother told him to stay in the house. She will handle the enemy. And as she started to fight with the monster, but the monster was too strong for her and she got badly wounded in the battle. Jin would not stand his mother getting beaten up, so he joined the fight. But he was weak and got beaten badly, but his mother could not see that, so she did whatever she could do to kill him. But in the heated battle his house was all destroyed and fire was everywhere, and in that the monster was killed, but his mother also died in the fire. His mother, while dying, told him to go and meet his grandfather Heihachi Mishima. He will teach him to fight and make him strong. Jin then traveled to meet his grandfather. He reached in the building, and while he was going through the lift, a person stopped him and asked, "What is that you want from us?" And he said that he is Jin Kazama, and he is the grandson of Heihachi, so that person took his straight to his boss Heihachi. There he told that he is Jin, but his grandfather was a man of his rules, and so he challenged him to fight, and he beat him a lot in that fight and asked him to leave. He is a disgrace to his family. But then Jin told him that a green monster killed my mom and I want to take revenge from him. Then his grandfather told him that it was an ogre who killed his mother and he will train him to fight and then he can leave. Jin measurements were being taken to make his new trainers in which he will do his training. He wanted some flames to be on his clothes, but his grandfather told him that if you need something flashy for yourself, then you have to earn them. Later his training got started, and as he stepped inside the rings his grandfather started attacking him. He told him to be furious and not to hesitate ever in a fight, and he has to be the best of all and do whatever is necessary to win the battle. Later that night on the dinner table his grandfather told him to say and do only when asked. Then another guest arrived and brought something special of him, but he didn't give it to Heihachi and wanted more money for it, so Jin was then told to take him down. Jin, without thinking any other thought, beat him down, but hesitated for a bit in the start, on which his grandfather scolded him. Next day in office, Heihachi was discussing the historical things that detects ogres, and then Jin entered for the trainings, but he asked to wait as he was discussing some stuff. He talked about the other fighter getting killed by the ogre. Later, they both in the training started the battle, and same as ever, Jin was getting beaten up. Jin was given the best training he could ever get, even he was given other opponents to fight, but he only way out was to defeat his grandfather, so he trained a lot and a lot. A lot of time had passed, and the young Jin was grown up. But still he was a lot to learn. He got beaten every day. His grandfather told him that he is preparing Iron Fist tournament to bring the ogre out, but he need Jin to be strong so he can defeat him. Later the fight between Jin and his grandfather came in once again, but this time Jin was strong and being beaten by him a lot of time had made him strong, and finally in that battle he defeated his grandfather. Heihachi, after Jin left, ordered his men to start preparing the tournament. It is the right time. Jin traveled though plane to reach to his tournament arena. As he landed, the secretary of Heihachi picked him up to take him to the arena. There Warang and other fighters also arrived, Paul, Nina and other, and they all traveled in the same car. Jin was very curious about what had happened to his father, but was not allowed to tell about his family relation with Heihachi. He in the car was told by the other fighters that Kazuya was evil, the Jin father, and Heihachi killed him in a battle that no witnessed. Later, every other fighter had arrived on the arena, and there Heihachi welcomed everyone and gave them a feast as for the starting of the tournament. Later that night, Jin got new information and wanted to ask his grandfather the truth, so he stepped in the room and asked him the truth. Heihachi, without wasting any time, told that he had killed Kazuya as he was become evil. He had gotten his hand on some devil gems which gave him strength, but took his body under control, which caused Kazuya to destroy everything. That why I had to kill him. And he told Jin that that power is used to talk ogre, and now I know that Kazuya has given that powers to you, and that's why ogre attacked you when you were in rage. Ogre sensed you.
Then Jin knew that he was the one which caused his mother death.
Heihachi then told him to stay strong,
and he have to defeat ogre.
Jin was meditating alone in the jungle, but Ling came there to disturb him. Ling told him that he had his next battle with Smith, so he should be prepared. The next was the battle between the two fighters. Jin got hit in the start, but then he remembered how his mother was killed, and then he started to beat his opponent, and in no time defeated him by breaking his leg. After winning, he went in alone to think more about himself. Then more fights occurred, and then Ling and Nina battle started. Nina was a killer that Jin knew before, and Ling was a high school girl who trained with Jin. As the battle started, Ling was very much confident, but Jin didn't want her to battle. But Heihachi there standing knew that Ling will win, and it happened same Ling defeated Nina by making her all tired up. Later Jin went to meet Smith, but he didn't welcome him as he broke his leg and told that Heihachi thugs don't come and meet their enemy. But Jin told that he is no thug. Smith told Jin that Heihachi is using you just like he used everyone. Later on, Jin had his battle with Hwarang. As the battle started, they both were friends and had trained together for a long time. But still Jin was very much stronger than him and defeated him easily. After the battle, Ling said them that she didn't want to see them battle again as they are all friends. Many other battles were held in the arena. Ling had her battle with King, and it was a heated battle for her as King was strong, but still King defeated her and won the match. Jin and Hwarang came to see her and took her to hospital. Their Ling, after waking up, said Jin to don't lecture her for being so little. Next match was between Paul and King. Then Heihachi told Jin that King is dead in actual, but this is a fake king and you have to see how they fight and how they win the battle from each other, and then you can learn how to win against them. Paul and King fight had started. Paul was a stronger guy, but still King defeated him at any cost without any hesitation. The next battle was between Jin and the King, and it was the final. While Heihachi was discussing about Ogre with his scientists, Julia came to attack him and wanted to know the truth about her mother's death. But Jin came in between and stopped them and told his grandfather that he will send her back. Julia then told Jin that his grandfather is the one who set the Ogre out, and he is not a good person. Jin then told her that Ogre killed my mother, and after the battle he will look into it. Then the fight between King and Jin started. It was a heated battle, and both were strong opponents for each other. Heihachi out there was waiting for the Ogre to appear, but Jin won the battle, and he failed to bring the Ogre out. Jin, after winning, gave up his prize money to King as he was someone who wanted to open an orphanage. Then Jin was leaving, but Heihachi challenged him, so Jin asked that were you the one who opened the Ogre, and he killed my mother, and he said that he was the one who did it, and so Jin accepted his challenge, and their battle started. Heihachi was too strong for Jin. He just wanted the Ogre to return, which is only possible if Jin gets out of control. And so he said Jin that he will kill him if Ogre didn't come out, and he did the same by beating him badly. But Jin remembered her mother dying and stood up against his grandfather and battled against him and finally beat him. But then the pendant fell and turned its color, and from the sky a green ogre came flying down on the ground. As Jin saw the ogre, he was all furious to kill him and attacked him that instant, but was beaten away by him. Everyone there asked Heihachi to help him, but he said that it's the fight for Jin to win or lose. Jin, while fighting the ogre, remembered that how his mother was killed by the ogre, and he battled with his full strength and killed the ogre. Heihachi then told his men to catch the ogre, but Jin said that he is dead and said that he is leaving, and because of his grandfather his mother died. But then from the sky another huge ogre appeared who had wings and attacked Jin. This time every other fighter jumped into the battle and helped Jin to defeat him. But they all got beaten up easily, and then Jin saw his friend getting killed, so he awakened his strength that his father had and killed the ogre once and for all. But then Heihachi came out and said that you have also got the curse of your father, and shot him dead there. Everyone there saw it and called him the real evil. But then Jin and his memories remembered his mother, and then suddenly turned into a devil Jin and got wing and horns and beat up his grandfather, but didn't kill him, and he saw his friend watching him, and he flew up in the sky to get away from there. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe.